This is Team 1 of my season previews for 2018-19. Hit thumbs up if you enjoyed and request which team you want to see previewed down below. The Utah Jazz started last season at 19 wins, 28 losses, and then were given a 20% chance to make the playoffs after that. Miraculously, they went on to finish 29-6, upsetting the reigning MVP squad in 6 games. Led by potentially the next standout generational talent, Donovan Mitchell, do the Jazz have a chance to be the next powerhouse of the Western Conference? Or was last season's second half just a fluke? Today I'll debate that and talk about if the Jazz can win their first ever championship this coming decade.
Rebound. Oh my!
Today's shoutout goes to Nick Kerwin. This community keeps bringing strong answers, but I asked your 5 breakout players. Nick had some interesting selections. I agree with Dennis Schroeder. The other 4 are definitely creative, which I appreciate, but Noel and Cantor I strongly disagree with. Mills and Looney are what they are as players. If you want to shout out next video, stick around for my Jazz question at the end of today's video. Leave your take. I pick my favorite answer. No one talks enough about the Jazz defense being 4 points better than any other team in the league after the All-Star break. They had 4 players in the 17-18 season rank in the top 20 in defensive win shares. The first one is predictable. Gobert's rim protection shuts down the paint. Donovan Mitchell you may have recognized as an above-average wing defender with the hype he received, and rightfully so. It's the 2 guys ranked at 19 and 20 in defensive win shares that'll shock you. Rubio at 19, among the likes of AD and Oladipo. He struggled staying in front of guys in Minnesota. This just goes to show the impact of Quinn Snyder defensively, and also how a change of scenery does players well a lot of the time. Coach Snyder also had Joe Ingles as the 20th best in the league in defensive win shares. The Aussie has proven himself to be a more than reliable 3-and-D player. The defense is championship caliber for Utah. I'll get to their attack offensively for this coming season, but let's talk about their 2018 offseason. With the re-signings of both Favours and Exum, the Jazz will have an identical roster from last year, despite letting go of the irrelevant Jonas Jerebko. So nothing in terms of signing new players, so I want to talk Grayson Allen, the hothead wing from Duke. How does he fit with the Jazz? Utah selected him with the 21st overall pick. Mitchell reportedly not only approved of the Grayson Allen selection, he pushed for it. For Allen personally, just to know that one of, if not the most dominant rookie last year, wanted to play with you, has got to be the warmest welcoming you could ask for. Mitchell and Allen were rivals in college. I think they'll be able to thrive when on the floor together in the NBA. Their games complement each other. Though Grayson isn't known for his defense, he wasn't a liability on that end and showed tenacity. He made a name for himself, though, with his sneaky passing ability, his 3-point shot, and surprising athleticism. Who knows how he fits with the overall roster, though. Of course, he can play both guard spots, but the Jazz have a ton of options already at those positions. One thing's for sure, Grayson's going to have to prove himself early on if he doesn't want to see only garbage time minutes. Before debating Utah's long-term future, here are my bold predictions for the upcoming season. I'm going to give 2 of them. We know who runs the West as of now with their All-Star team, Barring injuries, we would all bet our money on Golden State coming out of the West. But first, I predict that Utah finishes 2nd in the Western Conference. Yeah, I said it. Mitchell continues to move closer to an MVP candidate. And my second bold prediction is either Alec Burks, Royce O'Neal, or Dante Exum are going to start to show real value in the NBA. All have legit frames and have had plenty of NBA experience to the point where I predict one of them will be considered an X factor for Utah. There's a ton of young teams with predictably up-and-coming futures in the West. Where do the Utah Jazz rank among those teams? Do the Jazz have the brightest future of any team in the West? We know how one individual can affect the game of basketball, and Donovan Mitchell has a chance to eventually take the reins as the best player in the NBA. And given the structure around him in place with how overwhelming Utah's cast of defenders is, they'll have expectations of winning a round, if not 2 next season. As Mitchell's career progresses, he'll gain more and more confidence and continue to add elements to his game. And with Klay Thompson expected to leave Golden State next season, that could open up a shot at Donovan to turn the Jazz into West favorites. Thompson would actually be a good fit in Utah, and that's the thing. When you have this good a player, especially in today's day and age in the NBA, you can attract a ton of free agents. The 2019 free agency class is a chance for Utah to become a title favorite. Jazz fans, regardless of whether or not it happens in the next few years, if you continue to please Donovan Mitchell, which they've done a good job of so far with the roster in place around him, retaining guys from last year, the Grayson Allen draft pick, which D-Mitch pushed for. If you can just hang on to Donovan like Dallas hung on to Dirk Nowitzki, you eventually are going to win your first championship. It's bound to happen with all of the skill, leadership, and off-court demeanor, all displayed by maybe the next LeBron, Kobe, or Jordan type talent. Today's question is, am I overhyping Donovan Mitchell? Just let me know your overall thoughts on the man. Best answer gets next vid shout out. If you're new, hit subscribe for Hoops Talk all summer long, of course all season. Thanks a ton for watching. See y'all on Saturday.